Hi, it's Chris Titley here on today's episode of Scoreboard. I'm joined in person by Courtney Sippel. Courtney, thank you so much for coming in on a beautiful Brisbane day.
No worries, thank you for having me.
Now, you've just come from training.
Yep.
How'd you go?
Not too bad, actually.
Yeah?
Yeah.
And 2025, we're sitting here on the 14th of March, 2025. How's your year started so far?
Pretty good, to be fair. Yeah, it's gone pretty quick. Can't believe it's already March, but...
I know.
Yeah.
3 months in. It's almost
Crazy.
like, I think it's 20% of the year or something like that. Yeah,
Crazy.
so started pretty well.
Yeah, started very well.
Yep. And do you want to go into a bit of detail on why it's a good start this year?
Yeah, I guess I have recently bought a house on Sunshine Coast.
Yeah, awesome. That's huge.
Yeah, so I am really just loving life up on the coast and being by the beach and being able to just relax away from cricket. And I get to see my family a lot. They live up there, so
Yeah.
just...
Have you always been a coast girl?
No, so I'm originally from country, Mergen. And yeah, I moved to the Sunshine Coast to finish year 12 and then moved to Brizzy 1 year after that, and then decided I wanted to move back. So
Yeah, so the purchasing of a house, how did you go around the process your first time? A lot of people, including myself, found it a little bit uncomfortable in terms of the things that you need to understand and what you need to do. How did you go?
yeah, there's a lot I still don't know. But yeah, it was awesome just learning about it and a very good experience. Like, I was very stressed during that time though. But
It's so stressful.
Yeah, but it happens pretty quick. Like, once you finally find a house, it just happens so quick.
Yeah, it can happen quickly and also can happen depending on settlement terms, etc. Did you go
quick,
direct to a bank or did you use a broker?
Broker.
And the waiting and decision making and the uploading the documents of like yay or nay and the negotiations, how did you end up going?
Yeah, very stressful times.
Yeah.
I didn't really know what I was doing, so I lent on my broker a lot.
Yeah. And did you go to auction or did you buy before?
No auction.
Was it a set price that you saw on the listing that you sort of negotiated with?
Yeah, there was kind of just a price thrown out, and then there was pretty much me and one other person going for it. So I was like, well, I really want this house. So
was that person real, do you think?
Probably not. They probably took advantage of a young girl.
You never know. Oh, look, no discredit to real estate agents that are listening out there, but sometimes you're like there's a competing bidder and you don't really know. It's part of the game, I suppose, isn't it? So when you move in?
Moved in May.
Yep.
So pretty much 1 week before pre-season started.
Yep.
Which was hectic as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, then just started getting used to the coast life again, and it was amazing. Got used to driving an hour each way a day again, but
to Albion.
Yeah, for training.
Yep.
But yeah, otherwise loved it. Like, it didn't take me too long. It's no different to the 3 hours I was driving each way when I lived on the farm. So
yeah. Yep. So you've done a lot of travel in cars to play cricket.
Yep.
And what do you do in the cars? Do you make phone calls? Do you listen to radio? Do you listen to podcasts?
No, I am normally just a music girl.
Mm-hmm.
And then since driving from the coast, I've started a little bit of podcasts. And then I used to hate phone calls, but now I actually like them and will call as many people as I can some days.
Yeah, just driving and having a chin wag, having a chat. Yeah. What podcasts do you get into?
Sometimes a bit of self-help ones, a bit about branding, a bit about anything really. And then I listen to She's in the Game.
Yeah.
Maitland Brown and Hannah Darlington.
And you've been on She's in the Game.
Yeah.
I love seeing their Instagram updates.
Yeah.
Yeah, all about cricket. Yep.
Yep. And then, just ones here and there, some funny ones, whatever I feel like on the day, really.
Now, your life as a professional cricketer, you want to talk about that to the listeners?
Yeah. I guess I started playing cricket when I was 6. And then from there, I kind of started playing with the boys, made my first Queensland team at 11, and then went from there and made a Queensland team ever since. So, and then I started getting picked up by Queensland Cricket, started training with the Fire Girls at 14, just whenever I could come down. I think Andy Richards was the coach at the time, and he just said, like, you might as well just come and join us, because my brother played in the under 17s Queensland team at the time. So we were just making 2 trips, 1 trip for both of us, which was handy for mum with all the driving. So they were just like, yeah, just jump in, train with us. And so I did that maybe once a week or once a fortnight whenever we went down. And then, I ended up getting my first contract at around 17. So that's basically what the move was to the Sunshine Coast, was just to be that little bit closer to Brisbane so I could train as much as possible while still being at school. Been contracted ever since.
Yeah, well, it's not really close to Brisbane, but it is close. It's closer, right?
Yeah.
So you couldn't pick the Sunshine Coast. No, it's close to Brisbane. It sort of is, right? Yeah. And the trips to Brisbane as a young girl, what were the memories about that, coming down to play cricket in Brizzy, the big smoke?
I mean, it was just a lot of traffic, really. And we weren't big fans of traffic, as no country kid is, I guess. But that was probably one of the main memories. And then, just the long hours in the car and just leaving from school early again, the early knock-off, and then being so tired when we get home when it's like 11 p.m. or something, and then going to school the next day. They were probably the main memories, but it was an awesome experience just being able to go to the NCC and train with like elite athletes.
It's a wonderful facility. Are you, the love of cricket, where did that come from at 6 years old? What were the sort of the first moments? What was the determination of why cricket?
All my family play. So both my granddads played, and at a high level too. One granddad played for Queensland Country, and then another was played for the Australian over 60s and 70s. So it's kind of just all in the blood, really. My dad played, and then he got us kids into it as well, and my 2 brothers play. So we ended up we got a tennis court built on our property and just started playing cricket from there since a young age. So. Yeah,
and have you always enjoyed cricket, and do you think your relationship with cricket has changed as you got a little bit older, even though you're not really old, by the way? Yeah.
I definitely think it has changed. I think you definitely go through the ups and downs of, am I playing it for fun anymore, or is it just for work and earning money now? Or so I think I went through that at quite a young age as well still. Probably 2 or 3 years ago, I was going through that and just being like not knowing if I was actually enjoying playing anymore. So it's been nice being able to finally enjoy playing again and really enjoy.
Yeah, so this is your 6th year or 5th year? Seventh year. There you go. I should have done my research a bit more. 7th year, but you're only in your early 20s, right?
Yeah.
How does that sort of sit with you when you're probably playing with some people that it's their first season, but they might even be your age or older?
Yeah, I definitely think sometimes I think I'm getting too old now, and it's crazy when you think about it. Like I still probably got another 10 years left, but it's like you want to be so far ahead compared to what you are. And I think that goes for everyone, I guess, with wherever they're at in life. But like I would have loved to have been playing for Australia by now, and I think like a lot of girls who debut for Australia debut so young, so it's almost like I'm 23 now. It's like, shit, am I going to ever play for Australia, or am I too old? And it's like, well, I'm only 23. Like,
yeah. Look at Usman Khawaja in the men's. It's a 39, is he? Yeah.
Yeah.
And 23 is still like, long way ahead of you, and in regards to the dream of playing for Australia. You've come close. You've been selected in teams and squad. Is that the ultimate dream?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Yep. Now, since you became a professional cricketer, the game of cricket has changed enormously, still changing enormously to this day with the rise of 2020 and the rise of the different formats of the game, and maybe the sort of ups and downs of where spectators are going and where families watch and crowds, etc. How have you dealt with that as a player in terms of potentially just changing your game a little bit or training routines?
We've definitely started training different hours. So when I first joined the squad, we couldn't really train between the hours of 10 and 4. So that's because most of the girls had work. So, pretty much everyone did actually. And I think I was working at Rebel at the time.
Yep.
That was my early days of, training was pretty much pack up from training, go straight to work. And then I did that. I worked at an early childcare centre as well. So I did that for probably my 2nd, 3rd year of being contracted as well, and then eventually it just got to a stage where we didn't have to do it. So a few girls still do work, but now we train from anywhere from 8 till 11, 12, sometimes even later. So we can train during the middle of the day now, and I think that's just been a big change, being able to be like, well, you're finally getting enough money so you don't have to have another job. So you can train whenever you want.
For sure. And then what about the nuances in your game of bowling a 8 over spell but then coming on for a 2 over impact in a high pressure 2020 game? How do you sort of have worked on that?
I guess in the female game, I would say it's not that big of a change between one days and T20s for us. A lot of girls and a lot of teams like to come out quite hard in one day cricket still, so I think it's we pretty much just use our same skills over the T20 comp compared to the one day comp, so I don't think it's that much of a difference. But yeah, it's definitely a lot bigger crowds at T20 games, and just being around that bit more pressure of the T20 games is definitely what I've picked up on the last couple of years as well, like playing in big stadiums. Like I played at the SCG this year, and that was just unreal. Like there was so much noise, and just even not being able to hear anyone on the field compared to what you used to, that was massive change.
Yeah, and growing up in Queensland country with not many people probably at the ground to then playing at the SCG, how did you go on when you first took that step onto the SCG and think, oh, I'm actually here now, there's cameras, there's lights, there's lots of people and they're cheering? Did you feel a little bit nervous?
A little bit, yeah. But I think I just tried to soak it all in. Like I've been caught out a few times with a lot of games of just not taking in my atmosphere and actually appreciating what I'm doing right now. So, this last Big Bash, I kind of just tried to soak in everything and tried to make it be like, fuck, like you're actually doing something really cool right now. Just soak it in before it's too late and you can't remember it. So, yeah. That was
it's interesting. Like so you're in the moment and you soak it in, but then you got to think, actually, if I don't do well over a period of time, I'm not going to be here any longer. So you've got to actually suppose to get yourself in the zone to play the best, or give yourself the best chance to play the best you possibly can, while at the same time going, to pinch yourself.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I think that just comes down to like backing yourself and having confidence of what you do in training to just bring down the field. And I think the more confident I have from going to training and doing all the hard reps at training, it just makes that a lot easier. And I can actually just be free and know that like my teammates have my back as well. So
yeah, let's talk about your teammates and your support network, the people that have backed you through your career. Can you talk about them, give some credit to them? And I suppose when things don't go your way, there's people there by your side saying, keep going, keep pushing.
Yeah, definitely. I think this season probably hasn't been one of my best seasons, but I have had an amazing support network with my family, my teammates, and my partner Lockie. Like they've all been amazing, helping me through it. And I got injured at the start of the year as well, so that was a pretty low time for me. So it was just trying to get through that and really lean on my people, because I know sometimes it can get a bit too much and I don't reach out and stuff. So yeah, I think my support team has just been unreal, and yeah, just reaching out to anyone I can, and my family has been amazing.
Do you have a mentor or someone that's helped you through your career at all, or is it just more around friends and family?
I think more around friends and family, but yeah, there's definitely been some coaches along the way and just different people that you meet, like whether it's someone from that you go on an Aussie A tour with, I think like they can have a massive
an impact on your own your own journey, that they maybe see themselves through your own eyes, or something that's a little bit similar to what they've been through.
Yeah, definitely. I think Jude Coleman has been a big one for me. She and even Andy Richards and Pete McGiffin, early days, like they are the three that really backed my batting, and they kind of gave me my big break with my batting during underage stuff and first coming into the fire program. Like everyone kind of just knew me as a bowler, and then it kind of escalated from there and was like, well, she can actually bat, so why not bat her in the top order? So yeah, I definitely think they gave me my big break with batting as well. So, and then
Let's deep dive a little bit into your skill set in cricket. From the early days, have you been an all-rounder? Were you a batter? Were you a bowler?
yeah, probably a bowler. My two brothers are batters, so I used to bowl to them all the time. And then I guess they used to get me out and switch over pretty quickly.
So you had, like, your brothers were pretty competitive and they kind of smashed you around a little bit?
Yeah, definitely. So I think I got used to, they're both lefties as well. So early days I was very good to bowling to lefties, not so much anymore because I don't play with them anymore. But
Do they still play, your older brothers?
yeah. So they play in the Brizzy grade comp.
Okay, yep, excellent. And so there's still cricket's pretty active in the family, right?
Yeah.
At Christmas time, you get together, still play a bit of cricket, bit of backyard cricket?
Yeah. Sometimes every time we're at home, we'll play on the tennis court again. And yeah, it just gets so competitive, but it also gets we're so much bigger and stronger now that it's just too easy for us to hit over the fence. So.
The lost balls.
Yeah.
You get the tennis ball out and tape it up?
No, not really. We rarely
That's
do
fun
that.
stuff where you start to get some decent swing.
Yeah.
And it hurts a little too.
Because I think just because it was so easy to hit over the fence that you'd have to tape every single tennis ball, otherwise you're not seeing it again.
And then so you're bowling. So you loved bowling. What was it about bowling that attracted you to continue to go, this is pretty good? Yeah.
I guess because it's very challenging and it can be very high and low days. You can have a great day and then the next day you get smashed and hit around. So it's a good challenge, and being able to just set batters up in a way and know that you can come back the next ball and get them out even if they hit you for 4. So it's just something that, I've always found I'm in control of completely.
Yeah, and I think I saw a podcast recently with Ricky Ponting talking about Shane Warne and talking about bowlers per se, that they're in control. They're the ones that deliver the ball to the batter, and the batter then has to make the decision. But if you alter whatever, then the batter has to change. So you're the ones going, right, okay. Now, when it comes to bowling to a particular batter, how do you go around the strategy side of things? Are you sort of spend a lot of time on that as opposed to the actual technique?
Not a huge amount. I like to focus a lot on myself. I think if I'm landing the ball exactly where I want it to go, then good luck.
that's nirvana for you. That's ultimate. Yeah,
pretty much. And then I'm happy enough just setting my field pretty much almost the same to every batter, and just doing a bit of research and being knowing if they do ramp or having that up the back of my sleeve.
That's something that it's unfamiliar to me in my cricket knowledge. Ramping, it just it's the way that the game is going, and I got to admit to it. But it's something which it didn't exist. Even the reverse sweep didn't exist when I was playing. It was not like a sweep shot was something. It was like, oh my goodness, they just did a sweep shot.
Yeah.
Now it's like, oh, they've just done a reverse ramp behind their back with one hand with no looks. Oh yeah, it's just common, So,
yeah.
And how have you gone with your batting then? You enjoy batting?
Yeah, I do I do love batting. It's definitely been a lot of highs and lows as well. Some years I will put a lot of training into my batting and I'll succeed, and then other years I won't spend as much time on my batting, and of course that's when you're not going to bat as well as you would like. So yeah, there's been a lot of highs and lows with batting, but yeah, probably my highlight has been opening for Queensland. That was pretty cool. I think that was the year Georgia Redmayne got injured and we kind of needed an opening batter, and I was scoring all these hundreds at club cricket, so they were kind of like, well, you're doing it in that spot, you might as well try. So yeah, that was a great challenge because it was something I've never done, batting any higher than 8 at for Queensland. So
yeah, wow. The key to batting. What's the key to batting?
Don't know.
You've got hundreds.
No, I think
patience.
Definitely patience.
Mark Wahlberg, I remember used to say that he got bored. But obviously batting long periods of time. Well, not necessarily these days in 2020, but the idea of being in the zone and batting for a long period to get 100 is a long period of time, broadly speaking.
Yeah, I think the times that I've batted my best is just knowing where I've wanted to take down the bowler. So knowing where they might miss and being like, okay, well, I'm going to hit them here. And if they miss short, I'm going to pull them through here. So I think that's just when I've been my most clearest in my mind coming up against a bowler. That's when I've batted for long periods and scored runs. So
Do you use your bowling brain when you're batting?
No,
No?
no, I don't like to do that because most bowlers can muck around with your head anyway. So
Okay.
they can put one field.
So
and
you're
then
just
bowl
in
an
the zone
opposite.
batting. You're not going, I wonder what this bowler's going to do. They're going to bowl on one outside off you. I'm going to smash it. You go, no. You don't know.
See ball, hit ball.
Yeah?
Yeah.
And have you, in terms of your mantra, is it something like that? That's pretty simple when you bat, see ball, hit ball? Yeah?
Pretty much, yeah. Just breathe and watch the ball. I can get quite tense as well. So I think if I'm just staying relaxed and I'm just breathing and just playing what's in front of me, then that's when I play my best as well.
When you mentioned before about the highs of lows of cricket, the challenge, the learning, the ups and downs, which is you're sort of a bit addictive to that. When you don't perform your best, what do you do to reflect on? Do you sort of sit back and do you watch the footage, or do you think about, you write some notes? How do you learn from the days that haven't gone so well?
I think I used to just watch a lot of footage. I've kind of gone away from that at the moment, which I would like to get back into. It's just being okay with actually seeing where I've missed and stuff. But yeah, I guess in the moment you kind of don't remember a lot of what you did in the game. So I think going back and watching a lot of video footage is very good for me, and I'm a visual learner. So I think that's probably when I've been playing my best, is when I've been going back and watching that stuff.
And the first time that you watched yourself playing, how was it? Was it a bit weird?
Not really, I guess. Because I've kind of grown up on a lot of video footage being shown to me, because everyone understands that I was a visual learner. So they were like, well, I'm going to film you do this, and then I'm going to film someone who does it well and then show you. So I guess I kind of just grew up on
that, yeah. And then like looking at that, go, oh, that's right, I did bowl that. Oh, what to do, that sort of thing. A little bit of hindsight looking, and learning. And then when you win, people say you don't learn as much, right? What about you when you win? Do you watch the footage when you win as well?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yep.
I think you almost watch it a little bit more when you're doing well.
Yeah, true. And then I've chatted to a number of athletes around the team dynamic and what makes a successful team, and a lot of them is know your roles, as well as, obviously high performing individuals within those teams. How have you gone balancing your roles in particular teams versus like maybe there's, something that I could do which probably doesn't fit in the team dynamic or stand out, but actually, it's a bit tricky sometimes.
Yeah, I think just being able to adapt has been the key for me, really. Like, because I'm a bowler, just being able to bowl in all three phases of the game, at the start, in the middle, and at the death. So I think if I can nail that, then it doesn't really matter what the captain does, because I'm ready to go for all three phases. So, yeah, and then in the field, the same thing. Like, I'm normally an outfielder. If I get caught in the ring, then just being prepared to do that, if that's training more in the ring stuff, because that's going to help my outfielding anyway. So, just being prepared in all different phases has really helped. And
the pressure, now being in your 7th year, how have you found the pressure situations, the cooker moments, right, where there's a lot on the line? How do you go about that now versus the 17-year-old that's playing their first game?
Yeah, I think I'm just a lot more relaxed and calm now, and I tend to just breathe and actually take my time. Like, I know when I first started out, I was always like rushed, and I felt like I was like, nah, we're behind, we gotta rush. But really, like, I've learned to just take a step back, and if we're behind the ball a bit, then just be like, okay, I can actually take my time and settle and actually work out what ball I want to bowl or what I actually want to do, and just be like, well, this game is going to be going from whatever tempo I want it to go at. So I think that's definitely one of the biggest learnings I've learned over the last couple of years.
And I'm always fascinated from a cricket point of view, because it's such a long game, where the mind drifts when you're not in action, right? You maybe you're bowling your 6 balls and over, or you're batting, but sometimes you're the non-strikers, and sometimes you're in the field and not bowling for an extended period of time. Where does your mind go?
Anywhere, really. Like, I could be thinking about what I'm having for dinner tonight. I could be thinking about what I'm doing next week. Literally anything that pops into my head, I'll just think about it between balls and then be like, okay, switch back on when the ball is running in.
Yeah, so on, off, however many times a day, 300 times a day or whatever it might be.
Yeah.
And then when you're bowling, what are you thinking about? When you're walking back to your mark, what's going through your head?
Normally I've assessed where I've missed and then what ball I want to bowl next. And sometimes when I'm walking back to my mark, I'll be like, well, pretty much the same thing. What am I doing for dinner? Whatever I'm thinking about in my head, and then be like, switch back on and be like, okay, well, now what ball am I bowling again?
Yep.
And then, yeah.
And the rise of the Big Bash, which is a fantastic competition. How did you go with the scheduling and the travelling and all that sort of stuff?
Yeah, not too bad. Now being part of a Sydney team, it was actually very nice. We don't do as much travelling. So I think there was 2 weeks there that we did like no travelling. I think the Thunder Girls did a bit more than us, but yeah, we had two weeks where we didn't do any travel, which was nice. But yeah, now it being 10 games as well, it happened just so quickly. Like I felt like this season we played a game and then we only had 1 day rest, but you needed to get to a different state. So we ended up flying back to Sydney that same day that we played the game. So then we could have all day off and then play the game the following day. So yeah, the scheduling got very tight. But yeah, I think you just get used to it by the end of it because you know it's only a short period of time.
Yep, and then keeping yourself fit physically but also mentally, how have you gone coping with that over the last transition of your career?
I think it's just having some me time. Like you're on the road for so long with your teammates that I think just being able to know when you need some time to yourself or when you want to actually hang out with your teammates and go to socialising events and stuff. So yeah, I think once I found that I just like to enjoy my own space and my own company, that I really enjoyed those longer periods of time and travel.
And just some days you just want to go and have lunch by yourself and have a couple of pieces of sushi roll and don't open the mouth and let your brain wander, yeah?
Yeah, definitely.
Don't want that emotional energy of conversation sometimes, yeah?
Yeah.
Definitely. And what about your downtime? You talked about that. You switch on the phone and watch a bit of Netflix or read a book?
Yeah, I'll read books, watch TV shows. I'll watch anything really. I love my crime stuff, whether it's book or watching shows. So
yeah.
I'll do that.
What's your favourite crime show? I'm a big crime man. I love a bit of crime on Netflix.
Well, we're currently watching The Night Agent,
yes,
which is amazing.
Have you done to series 2 yet?
Just started.
Yes, The Night Agent is good on Netflix. There you go, potential sponsor.
Yeah.
And then there was, I'm actually watching one which is a European one, which is based in, it's got subtitles on at the moment. I can't remember what it's called, but it's quite crimey as well. Did you end up watching the sort of things like Breaking Bad and Sopranos and things on Ozark and things like that?
No, I haven't yet, but
there's plenty of content you can go through. I suppose you can waste your day watching Netflix and things, but which is good, etc. But the little Courtney, when she was growing up, was there a dream to play cricket professionally? Did you think that there was an opportunity to do that? Did you want to be like someone on TV? Was there a goal?
Yeah, originally I wanted to play in the men's Australian team, and then I grew up and realised how fast I bowl, and then I was like, no thanks.
Yeah.
And yeah, once I grew up and started actually playing in a female comp, then I started realising, it's actually quite fun playing with girls. Whereas young Courtney, because we were out in the country, we barely had any females playing, so it was always just with the boys. So I loved playing with the boys and how competitive they were. So yeah, that was why the goal was there to play in the men's. But yeah, slowly started coming across for the Australian women's team, and I started seeing more and more cricket get played, and yeah, it started to come on TV, so it was just in my face then, and I was like, yeah, cool, that's what I want to do.
And the rise of women's cricket, it's been fabulous, but it also feels to me like it's almost just the beginning as well. How have you gone the last 7 years in terms of the change, the test matches that are now played, the TV rights, the broadcasting, the colours, the posters, the trading cards, all these things which the men have had for so long, but the game is growing rapidly.
Yeah, it definitely is, and I think that goes to show how hard the past players have worked to get us to that stage of being able to be on TV, being able to get paid more, being able to do whatever we wanted to do, really. So, yeah, that's a massive credit to the ACA and our past players that it's gotten to that stage. But I think that's just where this generation is going as well. Everyone wants to see videos. Everyone wants to watch TV, watch it on whatever their platform is. So, yeah, I think it's really exciting.
And speaking of platform, Instagram's become a big platform for players and professional athletes to showcase their personal brand, and that's something, again, in my generation that didn't exist. And doing podcasts and being in the media, etc. Your Instagram account's got a big following. How has someone taught you how to do that, or have you just done it organically? And what goes through your mind when you want to post and when you don't want to post?
Yeah, I think I've always enjoyed posting on social media. I love just watching other people's content and wanting to create my own. So, but yeah, Holly Furling has been the main person for me. She reached out to me saying that she wanted to do this social media branding stuff with a lot of athletes, and she kind of used me as one of her starting people, and I was like, yeah, I definitely want to learn. So it's just bouncing ideas off her and learning. Like, I've learned a lot just how to use apps and how to edit different content and push it together, and knowing what captures the audience's views and attention to my posts, and what is going to be different for me compared to someone else on my team. And yeah, I guess that just goes back to your values and what your pillars are and stuff like that as well. So,
and your preferred platform?
Probably Instagram.
Not TikTok?
Nah, never been a massive TikTok girl, but yeah, slowly starting to push some stuff over.
I'll give you a little secret. LinkedIn is also pretty powerful as well. So
okay.
It's pretty boring people might go, oh, it's just businessy stuff, but I think it's a secret, so don't tell anyone. Right? Okay. Get on LinkedIn and start connecting with a few people. But Instagram is pretty powerful, and the powerful of the collaboration and the music, etc. You spend a bit of time thinking about your social posts?
Yeah, sometimes. A lot of the time I will stress about them, being like, don't want to post it, don't know how it's going to be reacted to, I guess, and they're normally the ones that actually get the most views and the most people commenting on my stuff. So it's crazy how it works. But yeah, one reel that you might think is going to do well does horribly, and then one that you might think that is going to do poor does really well. So yeah, it's
Do you keep your notifications on? So you go, there's ding, 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 ding. I mean, not that I can say that I've experienced that as well, but do you turn it off and you go, oh, that's 3,000 views, that's okay? Or I don't know, what's a good reel?
Well, I would have used to say like anything over 100, but Holly has come to show me that anything at over 10 is 10K views.
10,000 views is a good reel. Okay. So we should do a collab, right? And we'll get you over 10,000 with this, right? Yeah. With our growing audience on Scoreboard. So I mean, that's something which, there's a ding in the phone. There you go. Yeah. Authentic. Probably you getting a notification that your future reel's about to go viral. I suppose moving forward, your goals in the next 3 to 5 years of cricket, you did mention playing for Australia. What do you need to do to play for Australia?
Yeah, I guess I would love for my batting to get a lot higher and be more consistent as well. So scoring more runs in the middle order wherever I bat, and then work my way up the order would be great. And then, would love to take the new ball again. That would be amazing. Every fast bowler wants to take the new ball. So, yeah, just working my way back up to doing that. And
patience is required. If you are batting at 8 or 9, then you mightn't get a bat. You mightn't get a go. You might get 3 balls or something at the end of the innings or something. But then, when do you think you can kind of make your mark and maybe move up the order or show people? Is it in the nets, or is it the odd every now and then you might get 15 or something? Yeah, I think even at club as well. Like, club is massive, in the nets, practice games, anything really. And I think, and I mean, in saying that, like, it's not all and all for where I bat in the order, because then, like, we'll do my job wherever I sit, and a lot of time batting at 8 in the female game, you actually do get a fair chunk of balls. So, but yeah, ideally. And some advice for younger girls playing sport now, maybe that they're starting to specialise in various aspects, or they're not specialising, they're just playing sport and having fun. A young Courtney, which is not so long ago, by the way, looking to become a professional athlete or a professional cricketer, some advice that you could give them?
I think just keep having fun and keep remembering your why of why you're playing and why you're working hard every day and what you want to achieve. And I think if you just keep remembering, exactly what you want to do and where you want to be, then don't ever lose sight of that, because realistically you're the driver of where you want to go. So no one can tell you what you can and can't do.
And what's something that sport's given you in life that you think that, is just that nothing else gives you?
Great question. I don't know, probably just being able to push myself a lot harder and being in a team environment. I think just knowing that your mate is going through the exact same thing, and being able to realise that you can actually push so much harder than you realise and get through a lot of sessions. And I think that just gives you confidence in life, I guess, that you can push through anything and actually work that bit harder than you actually think you can.
Yeah, and what makes you in a sort of a spot where you're like going, I just don't want to wake up. I'm waking up this morning, I'm not feeling good, but I've got training. Like, what gets you going? Is it a cup of coffee, or is it just the mindset of going, this is what I do for a living, I've got to keep going, got to keep learning?
Yeah, probably the second one, just got to keep going. Yeah, I'm not a massive coffee drinker anymore, I've gone off it, but...
gives you the jitters?
Yeah.
The shakes?
No.
Just didn't like it?
The runs.
Oh, right. Not the cricket runs, by the way. So back to tea?
Yeah.
No tea?
Yeah, love my tea.
Yep. Do you have tea at tea?
Yeah.
So, yeah, and what about, and obviously you have lunch at lunch, right?
Yeah.
So tea at tea and lunch at lunch. Are you one of the few cricketers that has a cup of tea at tea?
Depends where I'm at and what day it is. If I'm going on to bowl again, probably not. But if I'm sitting there and waiting to bat, I'll have heaps of teas especially during Big Bash. All you do is just make tea for everyone.
Right. And are you known to be a good tea maker?
Yeah, I actually am.
Yeah.
Yep. Charlotte Edwards has said I am amazing at making tea, even though you just put a tea bag in, but she said I'm amazing. So.
Is there an art to it? Is it the timing of the tea bag and how how long it is? Because people can leave it in a bit too long and, have you just worked it out? Yeah.
I guess it's just whatever the person wants. You just ask what they want and then deliver to exactly their standard, and that's how you make a good tea.
Yeah. Well, that's some good wise words of wisdom for the listeners out there. But that's life though, isn't it? Yeah. Delivering on what people want, and as a team member, someone says, hey, you got to go do the job. Now, in the previous podcast, I've started doing this thing called the Scoreboard moment, which is a moment in your life which has really kind of impacted your life. It's something which can be anything. It doesn't have to be sport related. That you go, from this moment, this is a big distant, this is a good memory, or maybe even not a good memory, but something which is like triggered you on to be the person that you are today. Courtney Sippel, what's your Scoreboard moment?
That's a very good question.
Well, I tend to ask good questions. No, I'm joking.
Yeah.
It's my job, I think. Sort of. I've done a lot. Yeah. You can have a think about it. But in the meantime, some answers have been, particularly some of the sporting teams that people have been selected in or not in, like a Queensland under-12 team. I remember Nathan Horrocks missed out, crying on the car back, going, I'm so determined now to make the next Queensland team. We've had some AFL players that made the under-16 Queensland team, for instance, and said, actually, I'm okay at AFL. I might pursue it because I've had the coaches believe in me to say that I've been selected. Jason Cadee said it was the birth of his children. We've had lots of different answers around moments. Has that given you enough time to, answer? Okay, let's go.
I guess probably the time that I'm in now, I came off the back of an injury at the start of the preseason and I wasn't my fittest. I was actually not my happiest either. Leading into that, I was very stressed. I was very, just in a dark place, I guess, for myself and what that looks like for me. And I wasn't enjoying cricket. I wasn't enjoying life. I wasn't enjoying whatever. And I guess going away and I went to the Sixers and I really enjoyed the teammates down there and the group and support staff, and I absolutely loved it. And that kind of just flicked a switch for me and was like, well, okay, I actually really do enjoy playing cricket, and I do enjoy my teammates, and I want to be that positive person again, and just finding like little enjoyments in life again. And yeah, I guess now being like, well, because of where I was at the start of the season, that's now affected me in pretty much my whole season. So I haven't had a great season, and I haven't been picked in any Aussie A stuff this season. So I guess it's been really hard hitting that. Was like, shit, like, you get your shit together, otherwise your dream's gonna go out the window. So yeah, but I guess I had to realize why I wanted to keep doing it. Like, I couldn't keep doing it for other people. I had to remember why I wanted to do it and what's going to keep me going and keep me ticking.
That's a wonderful answer. And for your scoreboard moment, that it's actually kind of present and real too.
Yep.
And so if we did this podcast in 2 or 3 years' time, it'd be great to see and follow through how this location change as well, change of scenery, change of team, change of scenery has impacted you. I'm going to leave it there, but Courtney, thank you so much for coming on the Scoreboard podcast and telling your story as a professional cricketer in your 7th year. Sorry about saying it was your 6th year, but being still so young at 23 with plenty of opportunity to play for Australia and realise your dream. And as you mentioned, a tough season this year, but you're positive, you're smiling, and you're getting back on your feet. And a change of scenery has helped, and a change of team and dynamic has helped. And I wish you all the best in the coming seasons.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for having me.